So I'm looking at the 490 calls on Meta. Showing strength here without the market. NQ is slightly moving here. Has the head start, huh? I'm looking to get a half position at 490 and look to add another half at 491. But originally I'm looking at the half position. I'm looking at the 490 calls on Meta. Half position. So half of what I would have went in with a full position. That doesn't mean half of my account, but I feel like I don't need to explain that, but sometimes you have to. I'm in. Oh, wow. Market's having a red candle, guys. Already up nicely. Woo. Oh, my God. All right, so nothing crazy. Like I said, only a half position. I'm looking to get this to ride a little bit. Where am I looking to add? So I'm going to give this some space here. Market's dropping. I want to see what happens when market starts pushing. I want to add at 491, and then I have a resistance, or I have a trend at 492. I see divergence as far as strength against the market, and that's why I'm taking this trade, or that's why I took this trade. Also in with a half position just because the exact, market sentiment is not my favorite. Here we go. I'll let you know when I add, guys, and then we'll go from there. Wow, I'm adding. Market's starting to push here. If Meta doesn't start pushing with the market because it had the head start, I'm just going to sell this position. Still green, nicely. We should get the push here if we're going to get one within the next 2 or 3 minutes. It shouldn't take any longer than that. So if we take any longer than that, I'm going to walk away from this trade. Here we go. Boom. We new high here. NQ is flat. SPY is grinding higher here. I think I'm going to get rid of it. Giving it like literally another second here. Look at the ask, guys. When I say divergence, that's what I mean. We should get it soon here, guys. Come on. The bid needs to get strong here. I'm looking to sell half soon. There we go. 491. Beautiful. That's trusting that trade here. There we go. 491. I'm looking for the next high here. I'm selling half for sure. There it goes. I'm selling half. Sold half, guys. If we do not continue here, I will just sell the other half. Nice. Trusting the trade. That's what happens. I'm selling half. I'm selling the rest. Sold. Come on, guys.
14?
Nasty.
Just
come on.
14 in a row.
Target just hit 492. Now, like I said, I would be holding longer. It's just not the ideal market sentiment. You take what you can get. My stop loss on SMCI will be 1051 if I take the entry at this high. I'm looking at the 1100. I'm in. 1100 calls on SMCI. 1051 is my stop loss. I'm going to be super extra careful with this. Obviously, if it's too volatile for you, this isn't the stock. Like I said, only play something you can afford to play. Target is over 1060. Realistically, target for me is going to be around 1070. Someone said I'm going to pass on SMCI. That's a good move, especially if you're a beginner. People size up into SMCI. This is like a small position trade because you have the amount of room. If SMCI did come back, I probably won't play it till 1060. Just a heads up. SMCI, did you get stop? Yeah, 1051. That was a very tight stop. Very small stop loss, guys. Especially small position. Regardless, it was very, very low of stop. What's up, guys? So, bringing you kind of like a day in the life, kind of like what my day looks like in the morning. Pre-market review, trading, and kind of how I started, like the explanation of how I started trading. Even though a lot of you know what it is because I made the documentary, but we'll talk about it. But first of all, this is how it looks to trade in the morning. It's nothing special. There's no suit on. I know there's these, get ready with me in the morning trading and the morning routines of all these wannabe traders, I could say. And they're always putting in like those old-fashioned fits on so they can go and trade at the desk and act like they're in Wolf of Wall Street. But this is how it looks. This is how my hair looks in the morning. I'm either wearing PJs. I am wearing PJs with a robe on, no robe on, but This is how it looks. This is the real angle of it. But first of all, let's just recap the day. I ended up losing $2,600 for the day. Live streamed it on Twitch, obviously also on the Discord. I do that every morning on Twitch, YouTube, and a whole bunch of other platforms. YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Twitter, you name it. And then Discord's live every single day anyways. But I've been doing the live streams. So this was recorded live. You guys will see the footage obviously before this. But yeah, I was on a 14-day win streak. Yesterday was the first day we took a red trade, but it was with a half position. And the following trade was with a full position. So it was a good day yesterday, except it messed up the green streak. Today, I missed Netflix. I missed, what else did I miss? Meta. And ended up only catching the one losing trade. So it's fine. I mean, it happens. Risk to reward was there. The risk on that was about $4, which was my stop loss. And the reward was about $15 to $20 on that. So am I okay with it? Yeah. 14-day win streak and then one red day here. I was slightly red as well yesterday, but I had a green trade with the chat. Took a few trades on my own. But the question is always, where did I start and how did I get into trading? So for one, I used to watch this one trader. I wish I could find him. He was older though. And he was always traveling. And I never understood. I'm like, how can you travel this much? Like, people go on vacation or say they go on vacation like once a year. It's like kind of like a financial thing. And I used to see he would just live in these countries like for a month at a time. And I'm like, how does someone go about this? How do you do that? That was when I was 15, 16, around that age. And I was watching all these bloggers, DDG, YouTube. So I always wanted to live a life where I can kind of just have it on my own terms. Go and vlog, hold the camera to my face and just do whatever I want, right? But I didn't know what I wanted to do at the time. I thought I was going to be a YouTuber. And then I found this trader and I'm like, how do I get into this? What's funny is my best friend at the time, still my best friend, we're very close. His brother was already on Wall Street. And he got us an internship when I was 16. I still have my ID. I'll post it somewhere over here. You'll see pictures of me when I was younger. And we got the internship for 3 months in the summer. And I was the biggest change. That's where everything started. So got the internship and we would have to take the subway, or we would have to take the train and the subway to work every single day. And we would have to run. So like the experience when we were younger, it showed us how to hustle, right? More or less, because people are asking like, did you learn how to trade at the floor? No, we were just interns. But when you're in an environment, you know how they say, surround yourself with the people you want to be like, and you'll turn into them. That's kind of what happened. Like, we were surrounded by the right people. They showed us how to hustle. They gave us, how they look at life, like the ways they look at life, their thoughts on, different things or different ideas of life that as a kid, you don't really think about yet. Maybe those are things you think about 18, 20. So getting those things early allowed us to think more maturely, think about saving more money. Like, I didn't want to spend after that, like seeing everybody just every day just come to work. And I learned a lot. As far as like actual specific trading techniques and stuff like that, not really. Yeah, there's talks here and there, but it's not, you're not clicking a mouse. So after those 3 months were over, I was like, well, I need to feel this. So I loaded up a Robinhood account slowly, about 4,000 at a time, until got to about 23 in the account, something around that. Traded shares back and forth every single day. A couple dollars here, a couple of dollars there. Losses, wins. And then one day, I just played Micron Technology, their earnings. And I didn't know with options you could lose everything in a position. So if you buy one contract for $300, your risk is $300. And I thought it moved like shares. Well, I didn't think you could lose all of it overnight because I was playing with shares. So this thing ended up killing it on earnings, and the account goes from about 24, 23, wherever it was in the 20s, to about 83 in overnight though. And that was really the big start. Now, a lot of it was really hard. Like, learning how to trade options online was super difficult because at the time there was no mentors.
maybe there were, it's just very rare. So you had to really like deep dive. There was barely any YouTube videos, barely any Google searches. It was just a very limited space of knowledge. So like basically you have to go to school for it. But it was just like rocket science when I started. So trying to learn options, trying to explain to me that one contract was with 100 shares, and if it expires, you're liable to, pay for those shares. There's just so much going on at the time when I was trying to learn. So I had to take my time. Like I was watching these videos, it didn't really make sense with me. So if you're going through your process right now and it's not making sense or it's a struggle, trust me, I went through that phase. Even when I was, making money or losing money, it was still a phase of lack of knowledge and kind of like frustration of not knowing. So that was really the beginning. And then finally things started clicking. Still losses and wins, right? It's not just wins, but things started clicking. After 6 months, I would say it took me about 6 months to be consistent. And then from there, I started getting like a bigger setup, like something like this. Like, actually, it wasn't even these screens. It was like a regular, what are they called? Acer. Yeah, something like that. Like one of those ugly screens. I started getting a little setup. I'm like, all right, let me some money to take this serious. But yeah, so high school was the start of it. That was when I was 16. And then I was like, I got to continue to go to school because that was just the right thing to do. So I ended up going to college. And then from there, I ended up dropping out once I hit a certain number. Because you want to always have a safety net. And that's what I did. So I always tell people when they say, yo, should I drop out and pursue my career or pursue this? Prove it to yourself first. Set a goal. And obviously have some, money saved up just in case things go wrong. So that you can, cover, your life expenses. Obviously, even if it's like keeping low expectations for your life spending, it's still fine. So that's the one recommendation. If you're still young, looking to go to college or not looking to go to college, that's what I can recommend. Whether you want to be a painter, a trader, engineer, doctor, whatever the case may be, I would say prove it to yourself, show it on paper, show the stats behind what you're trying to achieve, what you are achieving, and then you can go to the thought of, all right, maybe school isn't for me. So prove it to yourself first. But yeah, that was the start. And it was history from there. I ended up making a Discord check. So my friend told me to, because I was kind of doing this every morning anyways. And there was no such thing as these signals back then. And it's like I wake up every morning to do signals or to trade anyways. So why don't I just incorporate it with a community? I was also like, back then there was this Yahoo community on the app and people got to talk to each other. So it was like the idea of people getting together to talk to each other, kind of bounce ideas off of each other. That was my favorite part. So that's where the Discord started. It was a nice start, actually. I think like right off the bat, we had about like 20 people join. And at the time, that's a lot. Like 20 people feel like 20 of your friends. And obviously when people start coming to the chat, adding to the community, it's like a bigger and bigger family. And that's how the community actually started. It was something that I was already doing and just incorporated into my daily life. And a lot of people ask the question, how do I innovate? Or how do I come up with things that aren't around? Like, I feel like everything's already going on. Like everything's already come up with. Solve a problem, right? At the time, the problem was there was barely any education online for stocks and options. It was very tricky. So I started thinking about an idea. It's like, all right, I do this every day. I might still be at the beginning of my career, but I've made enough to prove a point. So I was like, all right, this is the problem we're going to solve. And I ended up solving it until now you have millions of Discords and a bunch of wannabes. But it happens. You started a wave. And the whole point is you start a wave. But if you're going to follow your passion, prove it to yourself first before you drop everything and say, all right, this is where I'm going and this is what I'm going to focus on for the rest of my life. But yeah, that's my beginning, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Believe in yourself, but also prove to yourself that you can achieve the goals that you want in life. Peace.